All right. So this next question actually will go to both you guys, Chuck and Randy. I personally am talking to a condo owner association
Yeah.
meeting at the Gaslight Square this coming Wednesday about the importance of getting ahead of repairs needed in your condo building. Chuck, you and I, and Randy, you and I, all of us have talked about the problems with condos and deferred maintenance. Correct? We've seen that,
Yes.
and we'll talk about one thing in particular in just a moment. I'm wondering though, and Chuck, this starts with you. When do you disclose problems that are found within a building? So let's just say you're proactive, your condo association is, they do an inspection, they find there's a problem. Now, when they find that problem and discuss it at a board meeting, is that the point when if you're going to sell your condo, you need to disclose that knowledge, that information?
The quick answer is the time that you should mention what you know is when you know it. So yeah, if you know that there's an issue, now you got to keep in mind, has it been decided that it's an issue, or are they questioning whether it's an issue? I'm not a roofer. I don't know what constitutes a roof problem until I'm told this is a problem. So if there was to be a board meeting that says, hey, we're going to take a look at the roofs, well, that doesn't mean there's a problem in my mind. That just means we're going to go take a look at them. When the report comes back and says, oh, hey, this particular issue is on this particular roof, well, now I know there's a problem. Something has been designed. If you're going to disclose something, you need to disclose what you know needs to be disclosed. You don't hide anything back. If it's an issue in a board meeting, that's on paper. There are minutes. It's going to get found. So if they've come back and said, hey, we've got holes in the roof, they're going to need to get fixed, and we're going to have to put an assessment out there, I guarantee you, if you shovel that under the rug, I'm going to find it before closing. But let's say it even gets past that. It's going to have a paper trail a mile wide to go back and say, oh, you knew on thus and such date that this was an issue. You didn't disclose it. Misrepresentation.
Yeah. So last week we actually discussed a different condo association, different building, that they were a year or more in advance of needing a new roof, and they were letting the folks who lived at this building know that there's going to be an assessment, but they're not. I don't think they voted on it. They just simply discussed it. But you're saying the moment they discuss it is
No.
Okay.
I'm saying the moment when you're given the information that something needs to be done. Now, assessment thing needs to be done, two different things, okay? They can not have determined whether there's going to be an assessment. But if they've determined that here's something that needs to be fixed, you disclose it. I personally would say this is going to need to be fixed, and the question has been raised, is it going to be a new assessment or not? Because with an assessment, that's a guarantee phone call to an attorney. I get that call all the time. You know, just bought this property, just bought this condo. All of a sudden, I'm getting a letter saying, hey, you know, there's going to be this $1,000 assessment to fix this problem. This problem was not on the disclosure. Well, now you go to look at that paper trail. When did they know about it? If that's the case, might have an issue.
So this is a really important point for all condo owners and Chuck, I know you're a condo owner, so you're in the middle of all this as well. And Randy, let me bring you into this. And you remember a couple of years back, there was, I won't name the condo building group, but their balconies were in need of replacement and repair. And at that point, it became problematic getting a loan. Randy, bring this up here. When does the mortgage company get involved and say, okay, we're not loaning on this because we know there are problems with the balconies or decks?
Oh, they have a paper trail, so to speak, as well, and say, hey, this cannot be approved, you know, conventional or FHA, but you know, you're seeing this a lot in Florida. I mean, it's a crapshoot when it comes to condos. Now, I have some people, and actually some of your real estate agents have closed people that, and like we just had one in Prospect. Beautiful condo for $120,000. I think the HOA fee was $150, and we did a thorough investigation as much as we could, making sure that everything was okay. You know, that they had enough money in reserves and all the above. But it gets very complex. There's a lot of hands in the cookie jar, And there's a lot going on to try to even get someone to the closing table. You have to do condo questionnaires. You can't have over so many of them rented. I mean, it's a pretty complex situation. I wish Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac would just come to a conclusion. Okay, this is the way we're going to handle condominiums. It would be much easier on the client, the consumer, and also on us as lenders.
I think the takeaway from this for any condo owner is the moment that there's a discussion, you need to decide to what level is the discussion. Is there a need, if you're going to sell, that it needs to be disclosed in the disclosure form that you'll fill out when you list your property? I think that we all agree.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Always tell what you know when you know it.
Because you'll always get a good night's sleep, and you won't be thinking coming back to.
Well, yeah, and I realize the morality of it, and people playing hardball and all that kind of stuff, and it's just the fact is, if somebody comes to me, I'm going to be able to track all that down. It's not something you're going to be able to hide.
Yeah, that's important. Remember that. All right. A reminder, you can see what our reviews are. We're really, really proud of our reviews. You can go to LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com to see the reviews for our Sokoler team. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the home improvements to stay away from if you're thinking of making some upgrades to your home. We'll tell you what Zillow says are the things you don't want to do. Staying with us, Randy Rocky over at Swan Financial. They do a great job of shopping the loan to get you the best rates. You can reach Randy at 645-0736. Also, Chuck Crosby will stay with us. He's the head guy at the Crosby Law Offices. They do real estate closings as well as wills and a lot more. You can reach Chuck 499-6360. And if you're thinking of selling your home, I'd love to help you. We can talk free, no obligation. I come out, we discuss as long as you want and come up with a plan to help you. You can reach me on my cell phone, 376-5483. That translates into 376 live. Or you can go BobSellsLouisville.com, fill out the form. And also for that free home estimate, go to WeSellLouisville.com and click on the top of the page. We're back in a moment on News Radio 840 WHAS.